What's up, y'all? It's your man, Stephen Bardo, coming at you with another edition of Bardo's Breakdown. I'm your host, Stephen Bardo, former NBA player with the Spurs, Mavericks, and Pistons, flying Illini, point guard on the Final Four team. Going to break down Game 1 of last night's NBA Finals versus the Cavs versus the Warriors. Great game, went to overtime, had a lot of intrigue in it. So we'll see what folks have to say. Kevin McDuffie, Steph Devereaux, Steve Coulter, good to see you on here. What's going on, guys? D'Angelo Macklin, what's good? So obviously, a lot of things to talk about. JP, what's good? 50 Mills, where you spending this weekend, baby? 50. Yeah, a lot to talk about, man. I want to get into it. Kevin McDuffie said JR still sipping on Henny. He's probably sipping on some anti-inflammatories because his team probably beat that behind in the locker room afterwards, Kevin. Helen Bartle Levins, love you, sis. D'Angelo Macklin, Art Aaron, Darren Guest, Billy Cathy, what's good? I want to talk about the game. Rich McBride, thanks for jumping on. It's so hard for me to see a performance like we saw from LeBron James, and it's just it just goes to waste. I mean, the guy has 51 points. He puts his team in position to win, even with the reverse block call charge on LeBron with 36 seconds left. I've got some insight. So this morning, I'm in the gym, and I work out the same place. NBA veteran official James Capers, a.k.a. Bullet, nickname that we all know from the shot. Well, I was talking to Bullet this morning, and he said in hindsight, the officials made the right call in reversing the call. If you watch LeBron, he took the charge with his shoulder. Van Gundy kept saying he was in proper defensive position. That's not correct. When you take a charge, you have to get hit inside of this area. If you're hit anywhere outside of your chest, on your shoulder or anything, that's a block. So although Van Gundy was very adamant, very strong in his opinion about what should have happened, that was the correct call. They went back. And even with that, easy money sniper Kevin Durant steps up, knocks down the free throws. Curry comes down and gets an and one to put them up one. Even with all that, Cleveland still was in position to win that game in regulation. And then what happens? What's up, Lewis Rutland? That's my man. That's my brother from another mother right there. Joe Stovall, Charles Thomas, Wesley Cochran, Steve Profit, Michael Heater. I don't know if I see you on here, Michael. Glad to see you on here. Randall Montgomery, Herbert Burnett, Chris Williams, Uncle Smoothie in the house. So, yeah, I just thought the block charge call, I thought that when I saw it and they reversed it, it was a little controversial seeing the time of game that they made that call, but it was, in fact, the right one. That comes from James Bullitt, veteran NBA official. So a lot going on, but then you all know what happens. Block was the correct call, says Kevin McDuffie. Hold on. JP says, at Tim Donahue, by the NBA rule book, page 47, Rule F, the overturned charge block call should have been a jump ball between Durant and LeBron. They kicked the rule, according to JP. JP is obviously taking that quote from Tim Donahue, NBA official. JP, I don't know why they would go with a jump ball, because if you think about it, they had instant replay. They can go back. LeBron was outside of the restricted circle, so that was no problem. But if you notice, he was turned. He wasn't square. And you got to take a charge inside of your shoulders. If you're taking a charge like this to the side, that's a block. So Tim Donahue, another NBA official. I don't know if he's still an NBA official. I think he is. But anyway, I don't even think that was the game. The game was J.R. Brain Fart Smith. That's all I'm going to call him. That's the best word I can come up with today is a brain fart. And we've all had them, but not in that situation. And it's funny that you have to tell grown men in an NBA huddle, you have to constantly remind guys, time and score and possession. What do you do on this make? What happens if he makes one and misses one? What happens if he makes two? You have to continually go through this scenario. These are grown men who haven't had a check bounce. But J.R. Smith was out to lunch. I don't know. Rich McBride, going with my guys, man, Warriors will raise that trophy when it's all said and done. I agree, Rich. I thought the Warriors in 5. Last night's game kind of was a head-scratcher, though, because think about this. Steph Curry had 29. Durant had 26, and Klay Thompson had 24. That's about as even keel as you're going to get from an offensive standpoint of the juggernaut from the Golden State Warriors. And the fact that they had to go to overtime, get a call in their favor, and have Brain Fart do what he did at the end of the game to get to overtime. So that tells me something, that this series may be a little bit closer than I was expecting. I was expecting the Warriors in 5. I still think the Warriors can win. I know at the beginning of the beginning of the playoffs, I had the Warriors. I thought the Warriors would win in 7. But then right before the game, I was on talk radio. I went with Warriors in 5. But it looks like we're going to have a little bit more competitive game or a series than I would expect. But, Rich, I think the Warriors are host up the trophy. Chris Cornelius, what's good, Chris? Roscoe Anthony Pitts, what's good, Roscoe? Yeah, Wesley, the Cavs did give that one up. He said he's seeing too many ways that the Cavs gave up the game. And I'm like, LeBron played that was a masterpiece. It wasn't just the 51 points, it's the way he did it. He took his time. He got his teammates involved. They got Kevin Love going early. Then he looked to get George Hill and J.R. Smith into the flow. Even Larry Nance Jr. Had an impact on the game. It was good. Jeff Green didn't have the offensive output that he had in Game 7 against Boston, but I thought he still played a solid game. So I tip my hat to the Cavs because, I mean, they had it. They had it. George Hill and J.R. effed up the church's money, says Wesley Cochran. Aaron Janowski said, I thought it was a block. In real time, Aaron, I thought it was a charge just because, I thought LeBron got in there in time. But with instant replay, it showed that he was still kind of turning. And anytime you take a charge of this, or you attempt to take a charge with this shoulder and this part of your body, it's more than likely going to be a block. Kel Grand. Kel, I think this is your first time on. Good. Thanks for jumping on. Eduardo Nahara. Eduardo, thanks for getting on. George Hill should have made both free throws. Yeah, JP, we can say that. But how many times do people miss free throws late in the game? How many of us have been in Game 1 of the NBA Finals with a chance to put your team up and maybe, the winning bucket, and people miss? People miss free throws all the time. So I get it. George Hill could have given them the 1-point lead, and it still would have had 4 seconds left with easy money sniper, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. It wasn't guaranteed that even if George Hill hit those 2 free throws, that the game was over. So I hear what you're saying, but that's a tough call. Their reason for reviewing the play was suspect. They chose to review the play because they said they didn't know if LeBron was in the restricted area, Billy Cathy said. Well, Billy, that's not unusual because the game is so fast. Officials have to see so many things. I want to put you all in the mindset of an official. Your baseline, you're looking into the paint area. LeBron James is 6'9", 260. I think Tristan Thompson was in on that play. Kevin Durant is a 7-footer, and they're all coming at the same time in supernatural speed. And so to be able to have the foresight to be able to put your eyes in a place where you can see both down, you can see the body contact, and you can see where their position is extremely tough to do. And so I don't know that it was suspect. I think that most times in a championship situation, if there's any ambiguity in terms of the call, Billy, they're going to go to the monitor and see what they can find. So I didn't doubt them for that. And if you do have instant replay, which I've not always been a fan of, But if you do have instant replay and you go to it, get the call right. And I thought they got the call right. That's why the block or no call should still exist. I agree, Steve Coulter. Kevin Simmons, Brian D. Williams. Is that B in Vegas? What's good, Brian? Scott Swartz, Patrick Sellers. What's up, Patrick? How you doing, brother? Good to see you on here. Longtime assistant coach with various institutions, DePaul, UConn, Creighton. I don't know where you are now, Patrick. Let me know, brother. Good to see you on here. Hill makes that second free throw, and this is all mute. Yeah, Aaron, I'm not so sure. There was over 4 seconds left on the clock. You don't think Golden State could have gotten a good shot opportunity with 4 seconds with the ball at half court? I don't know. I don't know if it's all mute. Justin Perry says, I'm also ready for someone to KO that clown, Draymond. He stays doing the most. That's Draymond. Is he doing anything, JP, different than he's always done? Is it that Charles Barkley, between bites of Krispy Kreme donuts, is going to ask Kevin Durant, is Draymond that much of a butthole? And then I love Kevin Durant's response. Hey, go ask him yourself. Stop all that yapping and go ask him yourself. Draymond gets on people's nerves, JP. That's what he's paid to do. And he does a great job of it. And it's not like he's just an agitator and he's not productive. He hit some major three-point shots last night. Played stellar defense. He's always on the glass. And he's a great leader and communicator, especially on the defensive end with his teammates. So I get it. He gets on my nerves sometimes, but I love his game. So you know what? Nobody's going to clown. Nobody's going to KO him, JP. Tristan Thompson might be the only one that dares to get in his face. I don't know. Ever since Tristan got caught with the Instagram model, he seems to be a little tough guy. It's kind of funny to see this new toughness. I don't know where it's coming from, but Tristan Thompson ain't never been the toughest dude. He really wouldn't scare me walking down the street. So we'll see. Darren Guest says if J.R. Smith can count his money, then he should know that the game was tied. Darren, I get it. He had a brain fart. I'm not going to kill him, although I'd like to, because this is a pattern. If you notice JR's mind, I think he's a mental midget, and here's why. You remember the play where he went for the steal, lost his balance, and almost took Klay Thompson out of the series? He made another mistake at the end of the first half that nobody was talking about. He went for a steal at half court, didn't get it, leaves Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, who was wide open. J.R. Smith is back there trying to navigate which one is trying to get the ball. And I got to, sometimes you have to stunt at a guy to play two guys defensively. J.R. Smith says, screw that. I'm just going for the steal to look like the hero. Didn't get the steal, leaves the best three-point shooter in the game open to knock down a three to take momentum into halftime. And so J.R. Smith is I don't know, he probably needs to see a sports psychiatrist or something, because I can see when the wheels get turning, he's useless. And after I know his teammates reamed him at halftime. I didn't hear the announcers mention it, but I would have been in his behind, because you don't want to give Golden State any momentum. Golden State is the best third quarter team in the league, and it showed last night. And yet J.R. Smith wants to take a gamble. He wants to be a superstar. I don't know. But leaves Steph Curry and Klay Thompson open at the end of the half. So he takes out Klay Thompson. He went for a steal at half court to give a three-point shot to Steph Curry to give them momentum going into halftime. Then he makes, he's not thinking in that situation to know that if J.R. Smith, one of the most athletic two guards in the league, if he gets a rebound in the paint and he's got an opportunity to get a putback for the win or get fouled, because Kevin Durant's going to have to foul him or something, right? So it was a series of things that JR just spent throughout his career, man. I feel for LeBron and the Cavs, because it would have been Full Metal Jacket. Y'all remember that movie, don't you? When the dude kept messing up in boot camp and they get in trouble, and they would wrap the bars of soap in the towels, and they beat him because it wouldn't bruise, but he would bruise on the interior. That's what would have happened with J.R. Smith back in the day if he was playing in a different game. Steph Devereaux says, LeBron, what's up, Steph? Good to see you, brother. LeBron has to drop 50 every game for them to stand a chance. It seems that way, Steph, and he knows that. And the Cavs know that. And so that's why we're seeing one of the best performances in playoff history is LeBron James' run this playoff series. Wesley Cochran says you can't give an offensive team that many chances to capitalize because they will. Very well said, Wesley. I totally agree. LeBron massively controlled the pace of the game as only he can. Billy Cassie says, I agree. Roscoe Anthony Pitts, Junior did the Chris Webber. Well, you know what, Roscoe? I can see Chris Webber because he's in college and he wasn't getting paid. Well, maybe he was getting paid. But he wasn't getting paid as much as NBA guys get paid. And they're older. They've been through a lot of scenarios. What is J.R. Smith? He's in his 7th or 8th, maybe 9th year in the league. He's been in that scenario over and over again. He's supposed to know, and he didn't. J.R. knew the game was tied. He thought LBJ was calling a timeout with 4 seconds on the clock. What would you guys do, says Art Aaron. Art, I don't buy that. I don't think he knew that LeBron was going to call a timeout because LeBron was looking at him. Guys, especially people, ladies and gentlemen that have played the game before, you know this feeling that LeBron was in. LeBron is saying, what the first? So that takes a second. Then it's like, oh, this fool don't know that the game is tied. That's 2 seconds, and now it's too late. So I don't think LeBron was trying to – I don't think JR thought LeBron was going to call a timeout. JR was just doing what JR does, stupid shit from time to time. Korver was on the defensive and didn't do a lot from the offensive end, says J.R. Jordan. Well, J.R., I agree with that. And Kyle Korver is not going to look the same in every series. Some series he's going to get off. Some series he's going to get shut out. He just he's a specialist. He's not going to put it on the deck. He's very valuable. He was valuable against Boston. They got him going. But with Golden State, they've got a plethora of wing players that they can stay attached to him. And if you stay attached to Korver, don't let him get any space. It's very hard for him to shoot. So, yes, Korver has always he's improved his defense, but he's always going to be a liability on the defensive end. Hold on, y'all. I forgot to hit something there. Sorry about that. Kel Grand, this is what happens when you have a team's offense built around one player. Psychologically, it disrupts the Cavs players' ability to think quick and tough game-ending situations. Ball players are trained to play this way all their careers, so it is a serious adjustment for the whole team. Kel, I'm not sure I agree with you on that. First of all, the Cavs, Jordan Clarkson can score. Rodney Hood can score. J.R. Smith has been known to light it up. The Cavs have guys that can score the basketball. That midseason trade didn't take quite the way that I and many people thought it would. And so I think that the Cavs aren't built around just one player. They were built around they're built around LeBron, yes. But they had expectations of other guys being consistent performers, and they just haven't done it. And LeBron is talented enough, and he's strong enough inside where he can make it work. So I disagree with you on that. Donald Whiteside. What's up, Donald? One of the more underrated players in Chicagoland basketball history. Good to see you on here. Kevin McDuffie says Jordan would have taken the ball from JR and made a bucket with 0.0 seconds left. Nope, Jordan wouldn't have. I hear all you Jordan fans. Put that to rest. Dale Turner, what's good, Dale? JP says, I would have barfed on the ball and passed out before taking the first free throw. Mark Price would have sunk both. Mark Price is one of the best free throw shooters in the history of the game, JP. Got to give me another example than that. Terry Owls, good to see you on here. Kel Go Illini. Mike Watkins. What's up, Vault? Good to see you on here, brother. What's happening, Mike Ball? Mike Watkins, one of my better friends. Played ball in Illinois with us, with the Flying and Fighting Illini. Good to see you on here, brother. JR made two crucial mistakes, one before halftime, one at the end of the game. Terry Owls. Yes, I agree. How about KD not blocking out brain fart? Well, you know what, Wesley? A lot of times, guys that size, they won't box out because Durant's 7 feet and he's got a 6'5", 6'6" guard. A lot of times, they don't expect the ball to come off that sharply, and I think they just turn and go and try to get it. And, you know, fundamentals on both sides were not in play in that game. So that was a little surprising. But, I mean, not really. Not in that situation. There's so much going on and so much going through people's heads. Everett Gray, what's good, Everett? Good to see you on here. Man, I got some hoopers on here. Keith Smith, what's good? Billy Caddy says, tough way to lose a game. I'm curious to see if the Cavs can bounce back and make this a series. Billy, I think that was their chance. I think the Warriors, if you heard Steph Curry in the pregame interview after the game, he stated that these series are weird because what happens is there's a feeling out process. So game one is really a feeling out, seeing how you're going to play guys. Game two, the Warriors would be much better, even better than they were last night. And I think that was the Cavs' opportunity. Now, who knows with LeBron, because he's got a cape on this series, so we'll see. Draymond's today's Rodman, but better on offense. That's a good comparison. I'd agree with that. Wesley Cochran, Day-Day almost had a triple-double, though. That's what I'm saying. Draymond Green, you can talk all that stuff you want to. Day-Day can play, man. He's a stat stuffer. Aaron Janowski said, I'm still confused why Lou didn't pull a Doug Collins and call timeout. Guys, when you're in shock, and by the time you figure out you're in shock and it goes to your brain and then you make a decision, that's 2 seconds, man. So JR's got the ball in the paint. There's one. He dribbles hard. There's two. Then LeBron finally is like, dude, that's three. Ball gets to, I guess it was George Hill, 4, and now it's gone. So in hindsight, without being at the game, without playing in that situation, we can all say what we coulda, woulda, shoulda done. But Tyronn Lue is probably looking at J.R. Smith like everybody else was last night. What the heck are you doing? And so, you know, I understand what you're saying, Aaron, but hindsight's 20/20, bro. Joe Thompson, refreshing to hear someone that knows what the hell he's talking about. Joe, thank you very much. Wesley Cochran, they had a foul to give on that halftime three. Oh, my goodness. Wesley, are you kidding me? So you're saying that, Wesley, at J.R. Smith, at that halftime play, if he just stays in between Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, then when he sees the fly of the ball going to Steph Curry, you mean to tell me that when Steph caught, he could have fouled on the bounce before he got into a shooting motion? Oh, my goodness. I did not know that. That makes it 10 times worse. See, that's why I love doing this with you guys. You guys are knowledgeable about the game. Wesley, thank you very much for that. J.R. Smith, J.R. Brain Fart Smith, go see a psychiatrist, bro. You need it. Steph Curry sunk the half-court three off of Smith. Correct, Kel. Mustafa Ash Sharif, thanks for jumping on. Haven't seen you in a while, Mustafa. Good to see you on here. Bill Hersman, Glenn Sugiyama, Emmett Lynch, Darnell Bullock, Stephanie Love Moores. What's good, y'all? Thanks for jumping on. Philip C. Shelton. Good to see you on here, Philip. Kel says, why does LeBron James have to be the one to call timeout? Great question. Why couldn't somebody else done the same thing? What NBA get don't know to look at the darn clock while they're on the free throw line? He's just one of those kids in a slow class. Hilarious. Kelly McNee, Ennis, what's good? Kelly, ILL. Tony Martin, Jim Dykes, Robert Chucky here. What's good, Chucky? Mike Watkins says he's disappointed. A Cleveland game one win on the road puts a ton of pressure on Golden State and takes a ton of pressure off Cleveland. Cavs outside of James play way better under less pressure. I totally agree. Mike Watkins, by the way, guys, he's a very sharp basketball mind. If you haven't seen him on here, it's first time on here. Several of you all that are on here know Mike Watkins. Mike is a sharp basketball mind. He knows what he's talking about. I agree, Mike. I think that, these 7-game series, Cleveland they dealt with the pressure because they've got LeBron. But this is a different kind of pressure because you just can't pick and choose your poison. Golden State is just so talented, but they showed me something last night, so we'll have to see what ends up happening. But let's take a look. But great points, Mike. Emmett Lynch, they're getting swept now. I still got the Warriors in 5, but Emmett Lynch thinks the Cavs are getting swept. Uncle Smoothie says it's over, which a lot of people think it is. Michael Sharp, Daryl Arnold, Carl Williams, thanks for jumping on. So what do you guys think is going to happen in Game 2? Who's going to be the X factor in Game 2? It could be for either player. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Wesley Cochran says the refs are looking at the guy with the ball, so the best person to call the timeout is JR. Okay, that's if JR was of the presence of mind to do so. Brian Stark, thanks for jumping on. But I want to hear from you guys. Who's going to be the X factor in Game 2, and what's going to be the outcome? Who's the X factor? You can be on either team. Who's the X factor in Game 2, and what's going to be the outcome of the game? Chris Cornelius says, why is no one talking about the refs? One ref called a block, the other ref called a charge. Well, Chris, I mean, that's human nature, man. That's human nature. One guy's going to see it one way, another referee's going to see it another way. I don't think there's any problem with that. I thought the game, besides the block call reversal at the end of the game, I thought the game was well officiated. We'll have to wait and see. I didn't see whether Tristan Thompson will be available for Game 2 or not after his altercation with Draymond Green. And also, Tony Brothers kicked Tristan Thompson out of the game. Now, in hindsight, in the replay, it didn't look like it would warrant him kicking him out. The reason Tony Brothers kicked Tristan out of the game because he showed intent to be dirty. Tristan thought that was a dirty play. He went to foul him hard. That's why he got kicked out of the game. And so the refs, I thought, did a pretty solid job. But, maybe some you guys think different, but I thought they did a solid job. Emmett Lynch said Durant's going to be the key X factor in Game 2, blowout in favor of the Warriors. If Game 2 is close, Day will foul out, says Wesley Cochran. Michael Sharp says at most point talent takeover Ivy was missed. Iggy Golden State. Okay. Michael Sharp talking about Andre Iguodala was out. That's going to be interesting. Okay. Herbert Burnett. Kyle Korver has to get up more shots when he's in X Factor. Okay, Herbert. So, Herbert, do you think the Cavs are going to win, or do you think that Kyle Korver is going to be an X Factor either way? Okay, I like that. JP says X Factor is LeBron's role players. When they show up, the Cavs show out. When they don't, it's LeBron versus the world. I couldn't have said any better, JP. I agree with you on that. I was looking for one player, but I can't argue with the role players being a collective X Factor. So good point there. Certain angles give different perspectives. Okay. Billy Cathy, breaking news, Kevin Love will not be suspended for leaving the bench during the altercation. Tristan Thompson's status still pending. Thanks for that, Billy. And you know what? That's a garbage rule anyway. Assess them a technical foul, but don't keep them from the next game. We teach our kids. Who of all y'all, tell me if I'm wrong. I know my mom and dad did this. If your brother is in trouble, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go and help. That's a human urge. That's your teammate out there. If someone's going to attack your teammate, you're not thinking about, next game, all this. You're like, man, wait a minute. This is my boy. I got to go out here and help. And it's like, I don't know, man, the game, basketball is the best sport in the world, but we still have a little bit of nonsense, and that's nonsense. So I'm glad the NBA did a good thing that didn't suspend Kevin Love. Billy Cathy, thanks so much for that update, man. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Darren Guess, X Factor is going to be the refs. Y'all are caught up on these refs. I don't know why. Iggy will be the X Factor, says Carl Williams. So you're sure that Iggy will be back for Game 2, Carl? I'm not. But if he is, That'll be interesting. Joe Stovall's got a great point here. Cleveland's margins are so small that's why the officials' calls are so crucial. In Game 2, the Cavs have to get more efficient three-point shooting from Hill, Love, and Clarkson. Lou needs to insert Hood for more athleticism with the second team if Clarkson doesn't wake up. Joe, those are all great points. Here's the thing. I don't know Tyronn Lue personally, but I know coaches. If a coach goes to you as a player and you don't go in the game, Rodney Hood's not going to see the court, I don't think, unless there's serious foul trouble or there's just a situation that we don't expect and that he needs someone to shake things up or something. He might get on the floor. I don't expect to see Rodney Hood play, and I don't expect to see Rodney Hood in the Cavs jersey. That stuff is kind of a cardinal rule that you just don't break. So I love Rodney Hood. I thought he'd be a great pickup for the Cavs. Clarkson has struggled. They try to give him some time and get him going. He has just struggled. So I agree with you. They need those support players, like JP said, really need to pick it up. Kel Grant says the X factor will be KD, Green, McGee, big guys. So she thinks the front line for the Warriors will be the X factor. Michael Sharp says Iggy plays LBJ the best next to Kawhi. Okay, well, Michael Sharp, people say that Iggy plays LBJ well, but go back and look up the numbers that LBJ put up on Iggy in the finals and see how well he plays them. LeBron's numbers are really not that effective. He may have to work a little bit harder. It may look like he's working harder, but LeBron's numbers don't dip when Iggy guards him. I think that's something that the media picked up and ran with. I don't think that's accurate. Check the numbers on that. Sorry, but they're going to have to let Rodney Hood play. He's going to need to just get out of his feelings. Wesley Cochran. It's not Hood's feelings that I'm concerned with. It's Tyronn Lue. Because if a coach goes to you in a situation and he can't count on you, that's going to stick. And he'll probably go to Osman on the bench before he goes to Rodney Hood because Osman's jumping around. He's energetic. And he's going to go in the game if it's 2 seconds or if it's 2 minutes. And so I don't think it's Rodney Hood's feeling. It's how does Tyronn Lue feel about Rodney Hood, I think. Hey, Toya Williams. Good to see you on here. Thanks for jumping on. Eddie Chapman was good, Eddie. Let's see. Toya Williams, I'm a Warriors fan all the way. Okay. Robert Chucky Hill says the X factor will be Klay Thompson. While everyone is trying to stop Steph and KD, Klay runs his man to death. Yes, he does. He seems to be open a lot. Warriors by 11. Robert, I like that. That's a really good breakdown. And as somebody, I'm glad you brought up Klay Thompson because he often gets lost in the mix, but has been a terrific player and a terrific teammate for the Warriors. Just a consummate pro. Michael Sharp says, could you trust JR after last night as a teammate? Michael Sharp, I'm going to ask you something. Could you trust J.R. Smith after he took out Jay Crowder in the playoffs a few years ago when Cleveland was playing Boston? Could you trust him then? Because here's the thing. Even though he took out an opponent, every NBA player, their worst nightmare is seeing a guy go down and is out for the year. And J.R. Smith did that. And something it might have been even intentional. So, I don't know. I don't know that. See, at the NBA level, it's not about trust because they're all getting paid. So you got to play with people that you don't like anyway. So would I trust them or not? Hell no. But it's only so much you can really do because, again, he's on the team. He's the best two guard they got right now. I thought Clarkson would emerge, but he hasn't. So, I don't know if the trust is there. If it's me, Michael, no. I don't trust JR. And I'm beating his ass in the locker room after that game and after anything bonehead he does because, as you all well know, 1 or 2 plays can make the difference between you winning a series and you going fishing. And it's just so difficult when you give all that you have. Look, here's the point I really wanted to make. When I was the most impressed with LeBron James is when he just smacked the crap out of J.R. Smith. You saw the look on his face. He's like, fool, I'm out here dropping 50. My back is sore because I've been carrying you bums throughout the playoffs, and all you got to do is rebound the basketball, make an offensive play, and we can sneak out of here with a game-1 win. LeBron kept his composure to the utmost degree. Now, they were so shocked as a team, you saw they couldn't respond. They had nothing left in overtime. They just couldn't respond. But I was so impressed with LeBron in that situation. JP said it's wild the amount of price passes Bron throws to open teammates where they miss. Oh, yeah. Got to be demoralized for Bron on the inside. You're right. Precise passes, I think that's what JP is saying. Yeah, but you know what? LeBron he understands who he's with better than anybody, JP. So he understands the shortcomings of his teammates. He's just doing the best he can. And oh boy, is he ever. Walt, everybody's Uncle Barnes, thanks for jumping on. Frederick Dixon, good to see you. Daryl Wilson, LA's finest. After JR's miscues, the Cavs need to have Olympic-style drug testing right after the game. I don't think drug testing is the answer, Daryl. I don't think there's any drugs with it. JR's he's just brain fart, mental midget. Just blew it. Bo Singer, good to see you, Bo. Corey Guthrie, glad you joined, Corey. I lost confidence in Hood. He was getting quality minutes against Boston, was begging to come out of the game. Billy, you sure? You sure that's Hood? I'm not sure that's Hood. I think he may be talking about somebody else. Chris Ali Muhammad McDaniel. What's up, Chris? Thanks for jumping on. Corey Guthrie said, I've never seen a charge block review. Did I miss where that's okay? Also, I thought it was a block. Corey, you're right. It was a block. Last 2 minutes of the game, they can go to the monitor to review a call in that scenario. The referees went to the monitor because they wanted to make sure that LeBron was outside the restricted area. And so, but they can go to it. You don't see it a lot because NBA refs are so good, but they can't go to the monitor in that scenario. Wesley Cochran says LeBron controls the tempo better than some teams. As long as he does that and disrupts Golden State's rhythm, Cavs got a chance. I agree. Wesley, let's see. Kel Grant, this is a good strategy to run the Cavs. Warriors need to control the pace of the game, spacing on offense, getting fouls in the paint. They must get the fouls. They must get the Cavs to foul them. That would be a good scenario, Kel. The Cavs are a little bit better defensively than what they showed throughout the regular season. They can turn it up when they want to, and so it'll be interesting to see if the Warriors can get them in foul trouble. Kevin White, Brett Melton. What's good, Brett? Good to see you on here. Angela Karpinski. What's up, Angela? How you doing? Michael Sharp says, I don't feel sorry for LBJ's teammates. He basically picked them up. Okay. Fair point. Brett Melton. NBA refs are so good, ? Then why so many controversial calls, ? Brett, I'm gonna encourage you for you to go referee a youth basketball game with all the parents and friends in the gym. And there probably would be 50, 75, might be even be 100 people in there. The human factor comes into play. Each and every game, those refs call the games. Those NBA refs are some of the best refs in the world in any sport. People don't realize what you have to do in terms of making calls on a split-second decision with guys who are 7 feet tall that run like Olympic sprinters. Their NBA refs are the best in the world. And if you don't think so, go ref a youth league game and see how you feel with those parents on your back. When you make the right call, but it goes against their kid, see what you think. Ref about a week's worth of games and then come back and tell me what you think about the NBA refs. I think they're the best in the business. There aren't many controversial calls. There's so much pressure on the outcomes of these games. There's so much money. There's so much TV. There's so much exposure that people make it controversial because we got to have something to talk about. Those refs are outstanding. Corey Guthrie. Okay. I didn't see the actual play. and the commentary of fans made it sound like they were reviewing the call and not the circle. Okay. Can't get fouls when you're just shooting jump shots. You got to make the refs make a call. Very good point, Wesley. I agree. Billy Cathy says, I'm sure it's Hood. Early in the Boston series, Hood was in the bench rotation. He was making shots and asked to be taken out. He hasn't received any playing time since. Billy, I think Rodney Hood was asked to come into a game late in the the Toronto series. He was asked to come in the game late in the Toronto series. He didn't go in, and he didn't get that much playing time. I want you to go back again. Look at how much time he played against Boston. He didn't get consistent minutes. They didn't look for him because in the previous series against Toronto, he didn't go in the game when Lou wanted him to. And so I'm going to disagree with you on that. And if I'm wrong, good, I'm wrong. But I don't think so. Keith Hill, what's up? Good to see you on here. Brett Millen said, I've ref many in San Diego. I have a program where I ref 4 games every Saturday morning. I understand. I just don't like how they let physical plays go, but then call touch foul. Brett, you play pro ball. You know how it is. They want a rhythm. They want the game to have some flow. Every other league in the world is what's the music genre? The NBA is jazz. It's improvisational. And in order for the best athletes in the world to be improvisational, you got to have a flow to the game. And so those referees, the players, they have to work in tandem to put on a good show. So I don't know. I think the refs are great. I don't think they're bad. The game, we can nitpick it all day long, but we're all sitting here talking about it. Darren Guest, I think it's the suits because they are so tight. Maybe. Oh, he's talking about the referee suits. You're a fool, Darren. Kevin White says, yes, anyone who doubts referees, come try it. If you are in Chicago, I will help you. It will change your perception. I agree, Kevin. That's a hard job. Hugh Short, what's good, Hugh? Yes, Hood said he didn't want to go in. That is correct. Aaron Travis, what's good? Wesley Cocker says Bron and Hood had a talk and came to a conclusion that Hood wasn't buying in due to his playing time. I agree. And I think Rodney Hood, look, if you're a coach, you don't want guys happy to be sitting on the bench. You want guys that want to get in the game and play. But sometimes you don't have enough minutes for everybody, and you got to be a pro about it. And so if indeed LeBron and Rodney Hood had that conversation and they came to that agreement, that's great because that takes that issue away from the Cavs, and they can focus more of their energy on the task at hand. So if that did happen, that is great. Try reffing in the neighborhood tournament. Exactly, Michael Sharp. That's what I think. So hold on, y'all. I got to send a text. People blowing me up here. But look, who you got? Game 2. What's the score? And who's the X factor? I got some of you all to respond. I want to see somebody else. All right. Sorry about that. Refereeing is very difficult. I agree. Not knocking that, but on the biggest stage, the calls need to be consistent. Brett, they are consistent. Who fouled out? Nobody fouled out. Tristan Thompson got kicked out of the game because there was a foul with intent. Nobody fouled out. They made one change to a block charge call with 36 seconds. Where were the other calls that were bad? Or inconsistent. I didn't see any coaches getting any technical fouls or anything like that. I think the refereeing was fine. Let's see. What's the car said his energy was not conducive to winning, so he's out. I agree. If you're not bought in and you're not happy with your situation, sit down and wave a towel. Because if you're not all in, you're not all in. So it looks like, let's see. Aaron Travis, Golden State in 5. I agree. What's up, Nina? Nina Breezy, good to see you on here. Aaron Travis says Vegas never lied. Nina, who you got in the series? And don't say Cowboys. Who you got in the series and what game? How many games? Michael Sharp said it's more important to get it right. I agree. Warriors bench is X factor. David West and McGee says Darren Guest. Spoken like a true big man. I see you, big fella. So hurry up and put your things in because I got to run. I want to see what you guys think about Game 2's outcome. Who's the X factor? How do you think it's going to go? Chris Hill was good. Sorry you jumped on late, big man. We're wrapping up here. Games are lost, waiting for the last call. Question is, what did you do before the game was ended? Great call. So I don't see you guys any more responses. But I'm going to try. I'm going to get a little bit more aggressive with these. I was going to try to go at halftime of last night, but I'm going to do it in Game 2. So Sunday, we'll get back on this and have a little bit more consistency with these. Nina says, I want to go Cavs, maybe 7, but I think Golden State's got that juice. I think you're right. Chris Ali Muhammad McDaniel says, if Iguodala is playing, Golden State will win Game 2 easy. Without him, Golden State plays shaky at times. Cleveland can win Game 2. Chris Ali Muhammad McDaniel, I like that. I like that a lot. Iggy is sort of a security blanket for the Warriors, and when he's not present, they don't play as well. Let's see. Kevin White says Golden State in 5. Don't think J.R. Smith can recover from mishap. I agree with you on that, Kevin. I think that he will be affected the rest of his career, probably. And Kel Graham, you did say big guys, so that's good stuff. Well, this has been a great show. I thank all of you for joining. I love you guys. Please share these if you think, if you know somebody that would really like these and want to come back on the replay. Let them know that I answer all the questions in the comments below. But share it, like it, tell other people about it that you think would enjoy this conversation. You guys bring a wealth of information. I love it talking to you guys. You all make this what it is. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you Sunday. And then let's see. Chris Cornelius says, my son, little Christopher, says Golden State will win Game 2. He said Klay Thompson will be the X factor because of the attention to KD and Curry. Chris, your son, Christopher, sounds like a very smart little boy. And with that, we're going to wrap it up on this edition of Bardo's Breakdown. Until Sunday, holla!